And we're live, guys. I'm going to talk to you about this whole carnivore diet thing. I should really include keto as well, so I might change the title. And I'm just waiting for you guys to pop on in. But really, though, um, I get this question all the time. Well, I heard that you're supposed to get all of your sodium from meat and all of your potassium, and that you should eat as much protein as possible because your body will have a shut off, you know, dial, which is true. So, but unfortunately, our hormones, like our leptin, our signaling is not telling us when to stop eating certain foods. So, I wanted to go and talk to you about like what's the deal? What is really the problem that we can foresee? Hey, Fred. Let's talk about the foreseeable problem. So, right here, you're going to see an image of the biliary system. Let me blow this up a bit so you guys can see better. I think you can see it better. Okay, back to you guys. Okay, you see that? We've got over there, we've got the liver. So that's sitting on the right side around here. And then you have the gallbladder and the pancreas, the liver, the gallbladder, and we also have the kidneys and we have the pancreas. And they're all connected by that green thing right there. And that's the plumbing. This is the biliary duct system. This is the plumbing. Hey guys, this is the plumbing of what's connected to those very important organs. So when you're thinking of organs that produce bile, then we're going to get that in the liver and the gallbladder. And they're going to be connected to, like I said, a series of piping. And I wanted to give you guys a visual. That green thing, that's the plumbing. Your liver is going to make a ton of stuff. It's going to make the bile salts where your gallbladder is going to hold those salts and then release it. Hey guys, what's up? And we've got your pancreas that's going to make digestive enzymes. We have your liver and your liver and your kidneys, which are going to act for different things. Like liver has a lot of different functions. It makes cholesterol. And people don't understand that most of the cholesterol in our body is actually produced or recycled and made in the liver. Some people are afraid of eating animal fats with a lot of cholesterol. They don't understand most of it's coming actually from that liver that you see right up in here on that mouse. So the things that I find to be such inaccurate information is the high protein issue, which made me want to go into sort of the client stories or client examples of people who already have high uric acid. So uric acid, we have purines and we have uric acid, and it's a buildup from byproducts of protein that have to go through the kidneys. I got my gallbladder removed. I wish I took better care of myself. And that's the thing, Buff Carrot. A lot of people, most people have their gallbladders removed, have it removed unnecessarily because the doctors just love to remove parts because you feel pain. Well, let's just remove it. You don't need a gallbladder. You need a gallbladder, especially when you're doing anything that's high fat when it comes to carnivore or keto, because a lot of people will discover that they actually have, let me click off this for a second. Go back over here. A lot of people have an underlying liver filtration problem and kidney filtration problem and gallbladder sludge because they're all connected with that visual that I just showed you guys. So anybody who's doing high protein, if they already produce too much uric acid, then they may not be able to get the byproducts of protein from getting stuck in that kidney, which then can create crystals, which then can create pain, and the filtration rate of the kidneys goes down, right? Because we have your GFR. Now that is the test that you take to check your kidneys. And a lot of people ask me what type of test that they should take on, I think, on any diet or just in general because of people having such poor liver function. And that would be not only to test your liver enzymes, but test your GFR. Super, super important. Let me get over here. Let me see. Yeah, so that whole biliary system is going to be the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. And you think, well, what types of things make all of those organs go through issues? Well, it really starts in your liver. When the liver's not functioning properly, nothing else is going to function properly, especially those very vital organs. And a lot of people, because they don't feel, this is the issue, a lot of people don't feel pain. Now, some people say they do feel pain in the liver, but most people will have problems with the thickening and the inflammation of their liver and not even know it until they start showing other signs like, oh, my liver's not functioning properly. So now my gallbladder is my kidneys aren't filtrating properly, and then people start having a backup of cholesterol molecules or sludge in their gallbladder. And it's always, all those three are always connected. It's not just the one organ. So it drives me nuts about these diets that are like carnivore and keto. And these are like amazing, life altering, changing dietary measures that can really, really help people if they knew what the frack that they were doing. A lot of these gurus don't go over these details that I'm going through right now. So when you do these diets, you know what to consider before you're doing it, what type of health issues you might have prior, and then how to do a proper protocol so you don't get injured in trying to do these diets. So the carnivore line says gallbladder pain, but it's getting better. Tutka and taurine. So I often recommend Tutka, which is bear bile. It's bile salt. So, okay, if you're vegan or you just never ate that much fat, which a lot of people do, and you've got low stomach acid and your liver is sluggish, then, like I said, people start, the bile will start at the bottom of the gallbladder, will start backing up into the actual gallbladder. And those salts, which should be in a nice flowy solution, they get thick. So many people have gallbladder sludge or stones, don't know it, don't know that they've got liver lesions and stones, don't know it. A lot of people don't know that they've even got crystals forming in their kidneys because all those organs are so clogged up. We talk about leaky gut so much, which is like a great subject because keto and carnivore and even low carb, high fat can sort of help with a leaky gut, but nobody's talking about the whole biliary duct tract or system. And that's like what the deal is with carnivore is people are eating too much protein and then they have a sluggish liver. And then they've already got bile backed up in the gallbladder. And I'm starting to get young people, to me, like late 30s, 40s, with gout, which are crystals that start typically forming in your toe or toes. And they start ulcerating through the skin and it hurts and it's an inflammation. And every time they eat meat, and red meat's amazing, but if your kidneys are jacked, red meat, it hurts the kidneys, not the meat itself, but we're having that uric acid buildup and the purines, which are byproducts of protein. And I'm having so many people who are doing carnivore having problems with their kidneys. And you also have to factor the fact that a lot of people are chronically dehydrated. I mean, I find it so fascinating, the human body, like how much we trash it, and we don't even know that we're trashing it because we get so much of the wrong information. So things like, well, what is dehydrated? Is it like, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm going to drink? Well, if you're feeling like you need to drink, you probably were already dehydrated. The buff carrot says, that's so true. Before I had my gallbladder removed, I got gout in my foot. Bam! Thank you, the buff carrot, for saying that to the crowd because the body can go like left, like the rest of the world, really fast. And you start having pain and you guys, I think like 8 years ago, I had a friend who had really bad skin, and I said, I think you've got histamine. You should probably cut out like those plants. Now, carnivore wasn't even being really popularized at that time, so nobody was really talking about it, just like people who discovered it years ago. But I was like, dude, get off the salads. He's like, I love salads, and his skin was so bad. And 8 years later, he DM'd me on Facebook, and he's just like, oh, I'm on a carnivore diet. And I said, okay, that's great. It's great that you're doing carnivore, but don't stay on carnivore because I don't know why. I'm making the assumption. So note that this is an assumption that people's ability to clear out histamine from these anti-nutrient plants goes down. And when they try to eat these plants after doing carnivore for a year, and this is every client that I have, they can't. They're so bloated, they feel awful. I have not had a single person who went to carnivore and did it for over, let's say, 3 months. And even that's almost on the edge. And then they try to go back to some of their favorite plants and they literally can't eat it. So they say, well, I don't like plants anyway. They're bad for you. And they just keep doing carnivore. And then all of a sudden, their food selection just goes down like to that because gurus are saying, oh, eat a bunch of red meat. And then people are having problems with their kidneys and with the uric acid buildup. So you just find yourself in this negative loop, this negative feedback loop. And I just love to go and do these lives so I can sort of teach you guys the signs and symptoms on what to look for. And don't listen to people when they say, oh, I did it this way and I had such great success. Doing any of these low carb diets has nothing to do with somebody having success because even that I find very subjective because almost nobody wants to look vulnerable online and say what problems that they've gone through. I mean, when I started having really bad muscle cramps, I didn't talk about it in my videos years and I mean energy, oh, muscle cramp, ow, ow. And I had them really bad and I just like I was so worried to turn people off, and I really didn't understand electrolytes at that point, which is also a a really big problem with carnivore diet. But I didn't understand the electrolyte problem because you're dumping so much water via the kidneys that aren't filtrating properly. It's just all connected. And I would get locked up calf um, cramps, and then I started getting rib cramps. And when I started getting cramps, I started getting really worried because I knew, like, I could just bend my toe in the morning, it would just the whole foot would lock up. And that's when you guys start seeing my video progression start hitting the electrolytes and trying to understand that if you've dumped a lot of water and your organs aren't filtrating properly and your electrolytes are off and then you eat a bunch of protein and you're like, oh, why does my kidney hurt, why do I have heart palps, why do I feel bloated? That's what I'm trying to just say. Be very careful because somebody else says, there are some gurus who I think they're adorable, I think they're sweet as cherry pie, but they'll say stuff and I'm like, does that make sense? And they're like, no. And I'm like, why are you following what they're saying? Oh, well, one woman's like followed this woman and she's like, oh, but her skin looks so good. And I was like, because some people just genetically, if they have health issues, it doesn't appear on the skin. And then there are some people like me, the second something's wrong with my body, it'll come out in, on, around, everything to do with my skin from head to toe. So, people will walk around with sort of like sort of the beginnings of cirrhosis or inflammation of their liver, and you know that their liver's not doing its job, and their skin's gonna look clear. But for me, if there's anything going left, I'm like, okay, as soon as my skin starts to get red or bumps or the melasma or anything or dried out or crepey or saggy or inflamed or broken blood vessels around the nose, anytime something that like that has happened, which all those things have happened, I have to look at what am I eating? What stress am I going through? How well am I detoxing? How hydrated am I? So I've been able to really, really sort of isolate some of the problems and connect it to what I've been eating or doing in a 24-hour day to then correct some of those habits. And people are walking around with high blood sugar, and people are like, oh, I'm doing carnivore because I want to control my insulin. And I was like, I say to people, I've had clients who've got diabetic high, not only with insulin, but their A1C is super high, their blood sugar is super high, and they're sitting with a blood sugar of 120, 130, 140 milligrams per deciliter, which is insulin resistance, basically type 2 diabetes. And they don't know it until they actually start getting a glucometer, but it might present itself in being bloated or feeling tired or having issues with the liver, which people often don't feel. But I'm going to look at some of your questions here. Fat Plan says, I was eating way too much protein, but also a lot of fat, 350 grams. That's a lot. I've eaten, excuse my French, 400 grams of fat, and it was too much. I just literally became addicted to the fat, and I wasn't actually eating really good healthy fats. That I was including like nut butters, and that's garbage. That's super high plant toxicity right there. But says I was eating way too much butter, way too much protein, butter. That's a Freudian slip. But also a lot of fat, 350 grams plus, plus, even higher than that per day. Was losing energy slowly. I had to restart my macros and felt way better after a few days. So you shouldn't feel bad on 350 grams of fat. So that makes me wonder, like, did you have sludge and the gallbladder wasn't able to break down some of that high fat? Because if the gallbladder is just a little sludgy, you'll feel like a little nauseous, you'll have the aversion to eat high fat, you'll feel bloated, you just don't feel good eating a lot of fat if you don't have like uh, the shoulder blade pain or the right side pain or the clear nausea. But the protein too, so you're doing both. So the body, your organs were just like, I'm choking to death. Make it stop, please. I think Sally said, oh, Sally is Sally Fallon of the she was with the what's the dentist's name? Mm, Ansel Keys. No. Yes. No. No, not Ansel Keys. Ah, I forget. Not Ansel Keys. And not Ansel Keys did the 20. I think it's 2027 study on protein. No, fat, cholesterol. Um. Anywho, Sally Fallon. Yes. She always is talking about the oxalate dumping. And thank you, Carnivore Lion. Carnivore Lion is saying that the dumping of the oxalate. So if you guys don't know, let's go look at what an oxalate is and how do you get it. And when people do carnivore, why they end up having oxalate dumping and how bad it makes you feel. So let's go look at what an oxalate is, because a lot of you who are tuning in don't know what an oxalate is or what it looks like. So let's go figure out what oxalates look like. Let's see here. Let me pull up. Hold on a sec, guys. Okay. Okay. I'm going to share a screen with you guys. So hold on one sec. Okay. And I'll get to you. Is it Siltrin? Hold on one sec. Okay. So what you're seeing, it's kind of small. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. Okay. So what you guys are seeing is different kinds of crystals from oxalates. Now, oxalates commonly look like the needle one right there on the bottom row, the third to the right image. And there's different types and structures of oxalate crystals that form in that whole biliary duct system that I first spoke about. And the oxalates, they're like shards of glass or needles. They're very sharp and they clump together and they just oh they hurt like crazy, so they can start forming crystals, or stones in your whole biliary duct system. That means your liver, your kidney, and your gallbladder. That's what these oxalate crystals can do, and they come from things like spinach smoothies, kale, dark chocolate, stevia. Sweet potato has a little bit less, but they that still has some oxalates in it. And a lot of people will do like leaf dark leafy greens that are like loaded in these oxalate crystals. And let me see if I can click on this one. Go back. Yeah, this one here is pretty ugly. That's ugly. Look at that. That's a monster. And that stuff is in your spinach. No joke. It's also in your, like I said, your dark chocolate. What's up first? It's in your dark chocolate. It's in your leafy greens. It's in your sweet potato. It's in the stevia. And people have a buildup of these oxalate crystals, and it'll land in your kidneys. It can get into your breast tissue. So women's breasts hurt. It can get into your vulva, in your vagina. People think that they have urinary tract infections when really they just have these disgusting, awful shards of glass crystals in their vaginas. Yes. And the person was talking about oxalate dumping. And the dumping, what it does is that your body's trying to purge out these crystals, but you have so much of them, right? That it's not smooth. Your body's trying to get it out, purge some of these crystals, and it's just painful because, like, you're just having glass go through your body. And people just feel awful, awful on the detoxification of the buildup of the crystals. It's like you might have a little pain. It's just like the same like as candida. You may not notice that your body is loaded in these fungal spores, these yeast spores, the fungus. And then you do a keto or carnivore diet, and you just all this fungus starts just vomiting out of your liver to your skin, itching everywhere. You've got white tongue, your nails start cracking. You've just got rashes and dandruff, and you just crave sugar all day long, and you feel like shite. So let me go back to moi. I just wanted to show you what oxalates look like because a lot of you don't know. Let's see here. I'm back. Let's see what some of your comments are. Fat Plan says too much protein, and I think you're right about the organs overwhelmed for sure. I even throw what? Oh, even though I'm active and 6'5", it doesn't matter if you're big. Assume you're a guy. Doesn't matter if you're a big dude. This stuff can just ruin your life, like ruin it. So the fact that you felt bad on 350 grams at 6'5", that makes me worried, Fat Plan. There might be something going on with your gallbladder, or you're having a histamine with the type of fat you chose to consume. People in Japan seem to live long. No, it's only in certain parts of Japan. Most likely the countryside, where people actually farm. When you get to cities, you're going to have the same health issues, diabetes, cancers, all types of things in any city, to be honest. Maybe it's not as high as like a Chicago or a Los Angeles or a New York or whatever, but you're going to get a high level of people with health issues in cities. So countrysides are always going to be better, although maybe not in the States, because I live here in Texas. I don't really see the major, super, mega, like super obese people in the small town I'm in. You see them, but I think when you start venturing more to the south, you see it even more. They're in green tea. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Harry, in New Mexico. They are also in green tea. And people keep saying, oh, the antioxidants. You guys got to understand, plants give you amazing things And then plants fluck you up. I said flux, so YouTube. They can mess you up so bad. It's like tannins. There's a lot of tannins in teas. They rob iron from your body. There's a lot of mycotoxins, which is again the mold on the green tea, and then we've got the oxalates. So, uh, did I say Sally Fallon? Sally Norton oxalates. Yeah, sorry, Anita, I said it wrong. James, he's got a serious question. All right, James, what's the serious question? He says, Stephanie, serious question. Do you think it's weird for a guy to be attracted to females with muscles on their calves? Hell no. I think it looks sexy as a mother sucker when people have like nice calves on a dude. I'm like, oh, pitter patter. And then when I see them on chicks, I'm like, oh, I want those calves too. That looks gorgeous. I mean, nice calves. Yeah, I said it wrong. It's Sally Norton. I meant Norton. I said Fallon. I don't know why. Um, so, okay, so off topic. People on the replay, chill out. I'm going to answer this question because people are here live. And Mars Blackman 96 says, "Hi Stephanie, what is a good ketone range for fat loss?" Okay, that is a very subjective question because there's no such thing as a ketone range for just fat loss. You have to have a ketone range, a blood sugar range. You have to have your inflammatory markers have to be low. You have to connect to a circadian rhythm. You have to have nice oxygenated rich blood, which means know how to breathe properly, and have your cortisol rhythm moderated. So if you have all those other things that I just mentioned and your ketones are between a 1.8, y'all, and a 3.0, then you will lose body fat. Yes, but it's all of those things. You can't just have a good ketone range because you may not have good ketone viability, which means you're a great ketone maker, but your body is not using them. You're peeing them out. So we have a hard time seeing our body. That's why I cannot stand blood tests sometimes. Certain blood tests are great, but like gallbladder testing is awful because they can't see if the hormone is actually getting into the cell to be used. And that's the big problem when all these women are like, I went to the doctor and I did a thyroid test and I did a TSH and thyroid stimulating hormone and I'm fine. Or they'll even get a full panel. I'm like, did you do more than one full panel? Did you do 2 6 weeks apart? Because you're having the symptoms. And that's why sometimes I really love symptomology because undeniable, right? If you have enough clients, like I've had over 5,000 people now over the last 12 years. And you really see the dots connect between people. That's why it's so important to not go by subjective studies where we're like, who's the subject, who's funding the study, how long was the study, who's financing it. Like all of these things matter. But like when you have a group of people and they all have the exact same symptoms, undeniable. And you're like, okay, we'll try this instead. And then this works on all those people. Now we have a, a like study in the field. Now we have a field study. Now we're just observational study. And that sometimes is so cool if you have enough subjects to draw from. Nice calves are proportion with the rest of the leg. Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, but still, I've seen people. Have you ever seen like somebody really overweight, but their calves are like perfect? They're still nice calves. Oh, sorry, I skipped your message. My bad. You skipped my message, but it's okay. I was mostly complaining. I was also wondering if you had advice for someone starting out. Okay, let me go back to your question. I'm sorry about that. Oh, let's see here. Trying to find your question. Okay, I think it's a part of the preparation it takes to cook. Okay, what was your? Okay, I've tried to get into carnivore. Oh, okay. This is the question. Sorry about that. Oh, also, I just gotta mention again, that was very interesting that oxalates can deplete your electrolytes. So that's really interesting. I guess Sally Norton is talking about this. Okay, so Siltrin says, I've tried to get into carnivore 2 or 3 times. I struggle so much to stick with it. I can usually last a month or two before caving and I'm going back to normal unhealthy diet, soda, carbs. Okay, so let me tell you some of the things that people have problems with as I get a drink of water, as I have like lipstick. Well, they're actually just gloss stains on my glass. And I have a pony weapon. This is my anti-pony lifesaver, lightsaber. Oh, guys, you know I have a 7-month-old pony. Anywho, they like to bite on everything, including you, your butt, your leg, your fingers. So the things that can go wrong when doing carnivore, and it's very simple, and I say it all the time. People have issues with their electrolytes, and they're eating a lot of meat. They're dropping their carbs. They're losing a lot of water. They don't drink enough water. They already have problems with their organs, their liver, their kidney, their gallbladder, and their pancreas often. And people start feeling headachy, heart palpy, tired, because even with your electrolytes off, you can feel tired. You can't poop. You're having difficulties with, your stool, the stool quality. People start developing kidney pain. All kind of weird stuff starts to go down because of this chronic dehydration. And then if you have an oxalate buildup, then it's so bad. It hurts really bad. So a lot of people also have hypoglycemia. They develop that on carnivore because they went from carbs, like Siltron said, sorry. And he goes back to the unhealthy carbs. So that's going to shoot up his blood sugar. And then he's going to go do carnivore, and he now has lost the ability to balance insulin and glucagon. These are hormones, right, that the liver makes that should balance in the middle. This middle balance of hormones makes you feel freaking fantastic, because if your blood sugar is balanced, that means your insulin is balanced. That means if your insulin is balanced, your blood sugar is balanced, that means your serotonin and your melatonin are all going to be, those hormones are going to be like your sex hormones. Everything's going to be on fire. And then you feel great, like I do. Except for when I have problems with my horses and the people around me. But that's a whole nother subject. So, until I get my own ranch. So I'm almost there, guys. A couple more months and I'm going to be, getting my place. So people start to feel hypoglycemic. They can get a little thyroid problems. Their immune system tanks because they're not making enough ketones. They're dehydrated. They're having issues, maybe sometimes with histamine, with, like I said, the uric acid buildup. And they don't know it, right? They just go from eating bad food, and why do they feel worse on a diet that's supposed to make them feel better, like carnivore? So people feel good at first because they might have like less of a bloat or histamine response. But once they start doing it for a while and they don't get like their sodium, potassium, magnesium, water, and sleep and the oxalate dumping to not happen. But once they fix it, then they can fare well and they can do carnivore a little bit longer. But then the problem is the bloat, the leaky gut, the fixing the SIBO, the mast cell activation. You don't actually really fix it doing carnivore. You can minimize some of the symptoms, but I'm telling you, the second you eat a grape, the second you eat some green plant, something, avocado, you name it, people start having really bad bloat or feeling like actual histamine response, like mucus, headache, hives, rashes, just heart palpitations, or it feels like your heart's beating really fast or pounding on your chest. So there, I answered your question. So a lot of people, they don't adapt. Their blood sugar is unstable on carnivore. You got to do a ketogenic version of carnivore diet, or you're going to jack your thyroid, your adrenals, the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis, including the thyroid. It's a mess. And then I think a part of it is preparation. And preparation. That's also a really good point. Doing short-term carnivore do you still keep the same grams of protein per day as when you do keto? Absolutely the same, because when you're doing carnivore, the only thing you're doing if you're doing strict carnivore, is cutting out the plants. Well, you guys know I prefer avivore, which is an avocado carnivore, because then you can get that potassium in, and that's another electrolyte. That's another problem with swelling and all kind of issues and heart palps when people don't get enough potassium in because you can't get it from the meat. You just can't, especially if you're coming from leaky gut, which is why you did carnivore. So yes, you keep the moderate to low protein and crank up the fat, people. Uh, People in Japan don't overeat. Dennis, yes, they do. Not everybody. Most people don't. But all people who get addicted to processed food can overeat. Stephanie's serious question. Do you think it's weird? Oh, no, I read that. Sorry. Let's get down to the bottom. Sorry if I'm missing. If I miss a question, guys, just type it in caps. And that'll help out a lot. I've never seen Ricky Lake's calves. I guess I'll have to Google Ricky Lake. What would she say? Go Ricky. Go Ricky. This is somebody clearly not a millennial. In order to maximize metabolic flexibility, do a 3-day cycle of what? Oh, you're from Hong Kong. I've been to Hong Kong. It was a very interesting experience in Hong Kong. The thing that shocked me with it was I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt. Was this skies did scare me a little bit. And that's not even in any of the other mainland China cities, but I digress. Stephanie, please, can we see your calves? Are you serious? You guys know I have a knee injury. My calves are not very developed because of that. But let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can wait, let me see. Let me see. Make this entertainment really good. There's my calf, okay? Y'all happy? Wait, let me see if I can flex it better. What is oh, this is the table. Okay. There's my calf. Is that okay? My calves used to be amazing before I had 10 knee surgeries on my left knee from being a pro skateboarder. Okay. Let's see. Day 1, moderate protein, high fat with veg keto. Day 2, high protein. No, don't ever do high protein, hun. Not smart. Not low fat. This thing that you're doing where you're doing like some kind of cycle. Sorry, I love, people from all over the world, and I've been to Hong Kong because I wanted to go there. But this is probably the most deadly thing, what you're suggesting to people. People have hypoglycemia. People have unstable blood sugar, and people have got issues with their kidneys. And doing high protein then low fat, they won't adapt. And then doing intermittent fasting is just going to destroy your thyroid. So you are absolutely 1,000% incorrect. And if I actually got to talk to you, I'd probably find the holes in your actual health, because they'll tout that everything's just amazing when it's not amazing. Okay, I used to do carnivore for 2 years, but gave me painful feet. There you go. The gout, toes, joints, gout. Yes, it's gout for sure. Headache, fluid imbalances. Yes, that's the electrolyte problem. Moderate protein, high fat with veg, then start again. Unless I read this whole thing wrong. No. Sorry, that's the thing. No, I did read this wrong. Used to do carnivore 2 years, but it gave me painful feet, toes, joints, gout, headache, fluid imbalances, fatigue, dizziness. That's the hypoglycemia. There, see? Don't cycle your fat and do high protein. No. Dizziness when standing up. That's low blood pressure. That means your electrolytes. Your water and your salt are off, like insane. Insomnia, and the worst of all, constipation. That's electrolytes, sounds like. Okay, what are your current thoughts on potassium citrate as a supplement? I have been pushing potassium citrate probably harder than anybody who is in the keto, carnivore, low carb, high fat sphere. So yes. For people who've got a latex allergy to those trees like bananas and avocado trees, and you get the latex, the gloves. If you react to the glove, then you probably can't eat avocados. That's like a legit allergy and not a sensitivity. So yes, I do recommend citrate. That's the number one supplement if you cannot get it from food. 400 milligrams a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. During a endoscopy, they found blood clots in my esophagus. They said it had to do with my liver not pumping blood properly. Not sure if it's connected to carnivore, but I'm concerned. Larry, I hope you didn't get the sword in your arm because that might be the reason why. Or you're just having some other issues. How's your blood sugar? I don't know about that. That's another way that people can have issues. Um, Dennis says the body will create enzymes to break down the common foods you eat. That's the pancreas, the intestine. If you eat well-balanced diet, then you are good. What's a well-balanced diet? Everybody has their different versions of it. I lost a lot of weight on carnivore this past year, and I guess you didn't want to. What time is it too? I gotta get. Oh, it's right there. Okay, it's 7:22. Stephanie is itching all over, but no rash. Histamine, yes. Harry in New Mexico, histamine straight up. Yeah, Glory's like, you're so smart. I'm a smart ass. Sometimes I try to be smart, and sometimes I do stupid things. Agree. Keto should be a precursor to carnivore. Or you could use carnivore. Yeah, I agree. And for the short term, and then I think carnivore could be really quite beneficial. I've been on keto for 3 years, and all of this year, I've had things like gallbladder attacks, and a couple times. That's why I always say, was it precious? Because you have to know your existing health before you do any of these diets. Because if you crank up the fat and your gallbladder is sludgy and you don't know it, it is the worst. You feel like dog crap. So yes, know what's going on with your body before changing your diet radically. Steph has a hot body. Check her older vids. Oh, thanks. Well, my older vids, what's good is that my body pretty much is the same. Knock on some wood. Right? Still got the abs. Still got the aberoonies there. Oops. I'm trying to cover this ugly RV sticker and I keep hitting this stupid thing. I just need to hang it up and just call it a day. Okay. So a person who's got gout, a person who's got gout, keto is great because it's moderate to low protein and high fat. So that's why often the ketogenic diet is prescribed for people who've got kidney disease. Not carnivore. That'll make it worse. You were being humble. They look great. Oh, thank you, Mariana. They're okay. I mean, when I've had 10 surgeries on my left knee, I was on crutches for 4 years. And when you have such a severe knee injury, I don't know if you guys have seen the knee injury. It's really bad. It's bad. I mean, I broke everything in the knee. My leg was cocked to the side. I did this on a vert ramp, and people are like, "Oh, so is your knee good?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? My knee is like, it's like I'm 110, but not because I've used the diet to keep the inflammation down. I mean, how could I do? The doctor said years ago, you need to have a knee replacement. I was like, hell no, never. I'm not putting plastic and metal in my knee that's going to fall apart. I'll just keep the original tissue I have. Is it possible to build skinny calves? It's genetics. So okay. So I've explained this before, right? If I do a bicep right there, some people will have their bicep go all the way to the joint, the bending of the joint right here. The longer that muscle is, the longer it just doesn't pop. And that's why black people got short muscle bellies on their glutes, their booty. I'm just wearing some freaking horse cargo pants, guys. Excuse me. Pull this down. Okay. So if you're thinking about see the booty popping right there, see that booty? That's a short. If my butt went longer, it'd look flatter. But it's I'll squeeze my butt. So it is, calves are really to do with genetics. I hate to say it. You can maximize them to your genetic potential, and then that's all you got, honey. Nutrients to support the adrenals. It's about balancing your blood sugar and connecting to a circadian rhythm and eating every couple of hours so your blood sugar remains in this homeostatic balance. curious, you were a bit, I'm not a bit of a gym rat. I'm a freaking full on psycho gym rat. Not as bad anymore, but still a little bit. I went today and yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. Um, you know what? When my workouts now, my progression is calisthenics. I I don't really care about lifting for gains. Like people sit there with notepads. I'm like, yo, I've been working out for how long have I been working out? For 20, like 25 years I've been working out. It is boring. So I like to go do some weird stuff. I love to do like one arm push ups. I love to do like pull ups, muscle ups, dips, all that kind of stuff, all that body work stuff. I've been, and then I do the rest of the typical weight training, all the dumb exercises, the dumbbells, the plate loading, the pin loading machines, which it's not fun to talk about. And you guys know I can't really squat because my knee is so jacked up. Okay, I've been on keto for 3 years. For the past year, every 3 or 4 months, I have a couple of gallbladder attacks. You need to do a gallbladder cleanse, biliary duct cleanse, pretty much. You need to maybe get on Tutka or ox bile. You need to do the taurine, which is what I keep telling people to try, and some lemon water if you don't have a bad reaction to lemon water. Blood sugar stays elevated for several hours if I overeat protein. I've been telling this to people for freaking 10 years. They posted a video of mine where I said you shouldn't overeat protein, and they just blasted me for being stupid. And now finally people are like, I'm like, sorry, the glucometer is undeniable. Test your blood sugar after you eat a lot of protein. It's going to skyrocket. We can trust mineral levels from blood work results. I think a hair mineral analysis is more accurate, to be honest. Alan Albert at the snapshot in time. Yes. 5 minutes later, it'll be different. I'm sorry. I think you're talking to someone else. Yeah, you are. Okay. All right, guys, we've gone 47 minutes and it's 7:29 and I've just been going all day long. All day. And I hadn't gone live in a couple days. I was like, I need to go live and just talk to people and talk about what's the deal with carnivore. But I'm really hitting all three diets. But I really wanted to say like what problems people run into when doing a carnivore diet. And I think it's really great to take down your histamine and balance your insulin in the very beginning. And then after a while, the body starts freaking out with no fiber. The diamine oxidase starts going, people's histamine starts to go. Mike says, mineral water good for you. It doesn't really hydrate you because there's so much air in it. So be careful, people who are only drinking mineral water. You're not hydrating yourself doing that. And it depends what brand mineral water you consume. Lost a lot of weight recently. Only drink Sake now. What's that? My weight doesn't go up, but do you think Sake SKE could still negative effects on my body? Sorry, I don't even know what that is, Mike. I must be reading this wrong. I don't know. I've been doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for 48 days, but still I have loose stool. Oh, that's leaky gut. Maybe, or it could be, no, Paul. It could be first of all, I don't know if it's your gallbladder. Could be your gallbladder. Could be leaky gut. I would take out the aged meat. I would take out the bacon, and I would take out the egg whites and try the yolks and the beef. I would do that. And I would look at the stool. If it's a clay color, it's the gallbladder. If it's yellow, it could be your pancreas, but most likely your gut. Leaky gut. Bacterial imbalance. I've been doing, I read that. My doctor tried, how many people are in this chat? Okay, 50. Don't forget to like up the stream, guys, because I don't check to see who's liking it, but it helps the freaking YouTube algorithm. So don't forget to like up the stream. My doc tried to put me on statins. I had 300. I've had 400. Oh, with your LELs. I know I had a 400 total. Look, if you're worried, Donald, check your calcium score to see if you got any rocks floating in your blood. Check your blood pressure, because if your blood pressure is elevated, then I'd be concerned. But right now, everything else is excellent, and I refuse. Good. Don't listen. I refuse. They tried to put me on statins because my total cholesterol was 400, and I was like, and I started like reaming this general practitioner to learn more about cholesterol, LDL, small particle sizes, VLDL. And he's like, "Oh, I got to refer to my book." I was like, don't put stuff. People, I said, "Do you know how dangerous statins are?" Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. I think I got everybody. Is that everyone? No gallbladder. Oh, you can do Paula keto with. Oh, that's why you're having. That's. Are you doing TUDCA? Are you doing taurine? Are you doing anything that's going to support the gallbladder, oxbile, taurine, lipase for the short term? Have you tried any of those things? Question mark. Okay, guys, it's time for me to go. I have just sake is a Japanese wine. Oh, I don't know that. Lord have mercy, Mike. Mike. You're taking all oxbile. Paula tried TUDCA and taurine. CAC is on the agenda. Yes, Donald, awesome. It's a great test if you're just not, and a liver enzyme test is also really good. I saw some keto sodas. No, what you saw was a lie. What you saw was a scam, like what's going on in our world today. What you saw with that keto soda is a scam. Good night, Steph. Oh, somebody. Oh, Gary. I thought I was like, oh, somebody from England. Good night. Good night, Steph. Good night, Gary. You know, you love the live chat. Thank you so much. I hope it's not too cold, but it isn't because you wear shorts in the snow. And that I do not do. But good night. Ruth says, hi, I've been taking what? Rex? For nursing, prerequisite, okay. For nursing, but the school requires the sword. Oh, so do all the medical facilities where I live. I'm torn. No, Ruth, no torn, okay? No, do not do any swords. You need to just find another job. No, no swords, none. You guys, why don't you guys, you need to learn about this stuff. You need to literally go down the rabbit hole and learn how dangerous this thing is. Because every time I talk to somebody who went sword fighting and like got nicked by the arm, every time I'm like, do you know what this is? Do you know what's in it? Have you read anything? And they're like, oh yeah, I know what's in it. I'm like, okay, go ahead. And they're like, I'm like, no, that's not what it's in it. No. They're like, oh, there's no chips in us. I'm like, stop watching TV. Nobody said there was chips in it. There's a bunch of other stuff. And I ain't talking about no chocolate chips. No. Yeah, Donald says, anything labeled keto, run. Okay, unless it's a Keto Mojo, which is a blood ketone monitor. Come to Australia and join us. Right, to go there, and I'd be in prison. I would be like, I've been to Australia before. I cannot believe what's happening. I'm like, every time I'm like, oh snap, oh, that's why I moved to Texas. Oh, oh, it's so scary. It is just so. Jacks, love it. No freaking Apple Jacks, people. Please do not do any Jacks. Nobody use the real wording. Don't do any Jacks. Oh, I hope people get out of their hibernation of like completely asleep. Please, people. Please. This dude in my gym, I said, dude, bro. I said, do not do any Apple Jacks. Don't do number 2 Apple Jacks. And he's like, what? He's like, oh, you're just being ridiculous. Mother sucker perished. Bye. Forever. Good night. 6 feet under, brah. It's batshite. Yeah. Australia, I cannot freaking, I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, I understand. But dang, I will never go there again, probably. I'm sorry. And I was planning to go there, and now I'm not. The best vegetables to support the thyroid are vegetables that are going to have some minerals. Best vegetables. Hmm. Well, I can say anything with selenium, mm, vitamin C, because you can get zinc and copper and iodine from the sea. Oh, sea moss. Yes, kelp. Bam, that's the answer. No. Jax, we're just rhyming with facts, but instead you put the letter in front. Uh, is it Etany? I feel so sorry for you that you're from there. I feel so sorry for you. I'm feeling living in a small town in Texas and getting out of California and getting out of Hollywood was the best thing I ever did. I mean, I can be living a normal life here just about. I am completely normal, except for the fact that I'm from Hollywood and I'm not a left side of the street idiot and I'm black. I'm a complete contradiction in every way. Yeah. Yeah, the Oz is crazy how it's turned out. Never thought my fellow people would be this like this. I know, right? Holly, people are just they're just on that Waco, Texas Jim Jones freaking Kool-Aid. Like if anybody knows if they're old enough to know what I mean. Like even when I talk to some people, like the Greek guy is full on the way that Russia and China used to be. Like he is full on. Like he's like he loves it. I was like, all right, bro, wait for the lines to come, wait for everything. But I'm not gonna talk about this stuff. I don't want to get myself and get my channel jacked up because I've been shadowed so many times on YouTube. I'm trying to get over it. Come back to California. We need you. I know. I miss Jose. I miss. I just miss. I miss, but I don't miss. My friends are for. I have a few friends, right? The friends left that woke up. I've got a really good friend. He's like, Stephanie, I freaking can't take it here anymore. I just can't. And that's why you guys know I went there like a month and a half ago. I was like, I got to go there before I never can go back. I will not go back there until things change. Period. What about Carnivore? Has it saved my, it has saved my gut. Sandra, unfortunately, in the long term, it'll ruin your gut. So be careful how long you do it. I lived in Huntington Beach. Yeah. I mean, I used to do go to skateboard competitions all the time in Huntington Beach. Gotta have Maxine, right? I get the Maxine water pass to get into the gym, and yeah, I feel so bad for you guys. Like, I mean, I left with a horse because I didn't even want to be in California, and that's not even being over down under. I was angry every day when I was in California. I was angry. I was irritated. I was like, you guys are stupid. What are you doing? Wake up. And because I was naive then, right? I was naive 2 years ago. I was like, ain't nobody going to go get the jumping jacks. Ain't nobody going to get the sword. Nobody's going to get something that hasn't been like tested on people before. Ain't nobody going to get. And they did. And I was like, make it stop. Okay. Oh my. It's like people getting on statins. Like, are you? I can't. I cannot. Dennis, I'm a Cali girl, yo. I was born in LA. What? Ah, yes. I was in Hollywood, and I moved to a small freaking town in Texas. They look at me like I'm a mother sucking alien, right? Y'all see this? That's what I'm talking about. Okay. You see that F there? That's why I'll be moving to Texas, honey. Mm-hmm. Oh, you made your own backyard gyms. Yeah, I just think that we have to start forming new communities and really supporting each other through this, you know, this Jim Jones Wake of Texas Kool-Aid, hypnotization time that we're living in, and people are hypnotized. All organs have their own sound frequency. Exactly, Terry. This is a great uh, comment. All organs have their own sound frequency. Sound waves can piggyback off the, yeah, that too. Very good point. You love that shirt. Me too. I love it too, and I cut it all up, so it's probably gonna fall apart in time. My friend makes t-shirts, so maybe I should have him make this t-shirt for me. I think I'm gonna do that. All right, guys, I've gone over an hour. Don't forget to like up the stream. I appreciate you guys coming to my humble RV that I bought because I didn't want to rent an apartment when I moved, and I'm waiting for the market to drop, which it never did. So it means that I have to find a new location, and I'm okay with it as long as I'm on the red side of the street. Went from sinking poo to floating. Tina, went from what? Did you say something before, Tina? Can you include more times in your? Yes, yes, yes. Not tonight because I am behind, but I'm gonna include more times in my calendar. Yes, I will. I promise. Especially for you Australians, you guys are like, I don't want to do a consultation when it's 12 midnight here. Like, so I will. I promise you guys. Anybody from Australia, I will put times later in my day, which will make it your morning. Like 10 o'clock your morning, because you guys are like 17 hours ahead. Well, I guess from here it's more or something. I don't know. See you. Take care. Thank you, Verse. Thank you so much. You are detected not by a but by a pulse of your heart. I can't say the word. Sorry. I want to, but I can't. Come to Costa Mesa, Cali. There are trails for you to know. I will not go back to I will not go to Comic-Con, California. I will not go to Comic-Con, California. I will not. I already went back, and I'm like, it just feels, my heart hurts when I go. When I went back, my heart was hurting. I was like, I'm from Cali. I had to leave my favorite place. I've traveled all over the world, y'all. And I had to leave my favorite place because I ain't putting up with that nonsense. Okay? I'm not. No, just a quick question. Okay. What do you think causes heart disease? Clogged arteries? Clogged arteries, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. It's a thing called advanced glycation end product as well, where you have damage of the endothelial cells that become damaged, and then people's calcium scores up, and like rocks are floating in the bloodstream, and they start spackling the arteries. And people just they drink alcohol, they stay up too late, their blood sugar is high, they don't get enough sleep, they're just eating a lot of processed foods. Yes, Terry. They're using, and yep. I know, Terry. I'm glad you get it. I love that when I talk to you guys. But we can't, Terry, I can't even say the words. You got to use code words too. But yeah, the life I live right now, the biggest problem I have is that I keep moving my RV and staying at places where I don't really connect with the people where my RV is. And I'll take that over being in California, being upset that my whole favorite place is destroyed. And process stuff the way you see a process life. Thank you, Donald. It's been hard. You guys know who've been following my journey that I left California and why I left California. And then I went to a small town, and I'm not accepted. I mean, I'm accepted in this town, but I'm not. Like, I'm a freak, and I'm different. I'm a different girl. And everybody in this town is married by the time they're 20 and already with the first kid on the way. And I've never been married, and I don't have kids. And I always wanted kids, but now that the world is upside down, I'm glad I never had them, because I would cry if I saw that. Thank you, Gary. Thank you so much for the donation. I would never. Thank you. Gary is very, very. I've known Gary for a minute, y'all. Met him at the Paleo Effects. A lot of you guys don't know what that is. But Yeah, and I like your, I think your hat. I think I saw on Facebook, Gary. But and Gary has the same mindset as I do about what's going down. I just things things are going to get worse before they get better, and they will get better, but a lot of stupid things are going to happen and people are going to be freaking out, and I'm already mentally and emotionally ready, and I left, and I'm looking for my forever home with my horses, now that I have more than one. Terry says they can take down an entire town in a second with the yes. I know they can. That's the reason why I will be living in the country, honey, because them sound waves ain't gonna be there. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we can share your kids. Stanley. I always wanted kids, but I knew that if I had kids, I wanted to one and done. This man I would be with forever, but I never found my forever guy until he became 16 and a half hands and very furry. And his name is Thunder. He's my fur baby husband child. He literally feels like my boyfriend. He does. He's my horsey. I love that horse. Y'all don't know how much I love that horse. I can show you on my phone. I love that horse. I don't know if he's become like a security blanket because now I have three, right? I got two horses and a donkey. And every time I see him, I want to melt. Every freaking time. Hold on, guys. I'm digressing. People on just chill. Where's my fur baby? Oh, it's got music. I can't wait. Let me turn down the volume. Hold on. Look at this horse. Wait. Look at him. Look at him in my door. Come on, people. Look at him. He's so freaking cute. This is the continue. This is on my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic, you guys. Look at him. Every morning, my horse comes to my front door and he knocks on it with his face. And he started waking me up at like, I don't know, like 6. I'm like, bro, no. Especially if I have a late night. I was like, no, dude. He's just so cute. I can't with this horse. I cannot. I cannot. He is so freaking cute. Every day he does this. Every day. So yeah, I love him so much. I also, you guys, I got 2 other horses just for him. I didn't get them because I wanted more. I just didn't want him to be alone anymore. And there's my little baby. He's a miniature Appaloosa, and his name is Luca. He's walking circles around Thunder. Yes. So I was gonna get a dog, and I was like, I don't need a dog. That little horse is like a dog. Make a skateboard for him. Thank you. I got a big announcement, you guys. I'm going to do a big announcement about something that's happened recently in my skateboard career. Somehow they keep getting me back into it. The skateboard scene. I was one of the world's first top pro female skaters and first Black pro female skater. And that's a whole nother. Oh, Donald, thank you so much for the donation. You guys, thank you. I really appreciate it. Any donation that I ever get will only go towards these animals. Trust me. Okay? I don't even care anymore if I wear the same clothes for the next 50,000 years. I want those animals to live their best life because all 3 are rescue horses. All of them live the most jacked up, fracked up lives ever. And so, thank you. The donations on this stream today will all go towards those animals. I promise you that. I don't need to touch a second of it. So, it's your personality they want. Yeah, I realize that people are very aggressive with horses. They always say you have to show them who's boss. Don't let them get in your space. Because they're big. And if they get scared or if they're pushy, they can like run you down and kill you. But I always knew with my abused horse, who was just impossible to ride and he would buck people off, I knew that that horse, the reason why he got that bad was because of too many aggressive people. And so I was just like, and then you see him, then he turns into this mush, this mushy mush of a sweet horse. This is the sweetest horse. Everybody knows it. Every time somebody meets him, they're like, what's up with that horse? He's like a human. He is the sweetest, the most, oh, he's the best. He's the best. So, I know everybody who came for keto on the replay is going to be like, girl, stop with the horses. But it's a part of my life. You know, it's not just keto and carnivore and the human body. It's also what keeps my stress down, what makes me feel not alone. It's the weirdest thing. Like, this is the first time I've never felt alone. Like, I don't feel alone. I don't. I don't. I can whistle right now, and that big boy will come to my door and doink 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 on the door. Ah, it's so cute. Okay, Steph, vegans are upset with pushing carnivore and then talking about saving animals. Oh, I don't care. It's like, you know, we live in a very precarious, weird reality. Yes, I love animals and I eat animals. Is that a contradiction? Yes and no. I mean, we are carnivores, right? And humans have always loved animals and love to eat them. It is what it is. It's nature, right? It's Mother Nature's plan. It is what it is. I mean, the people that want you to get into the skateboard scene. I don't. What was your original question, Terry? Hold on. It's your person. Oh, the skateboarding thing. Well, okay. Yeah, I had an interview. I think it started with an interview for Thrasher magazine last year. They did a black issue. I was like, really? Really? I was the only girl. I'm like, can't you just do a Steph issue? Like a where is she now? Like, what is she doing now? Because I'm doing keto. But um uh they interviewed me, and then another person interviewed me, and then the people from this incredible organization were like, we have to put you in this thing that we're doing, and it's the biggest thing that I've ever done in my life, right? It's the biggest thing. So you'll see. Besides getting Thunder, my fur baby, husband, child. So no more cheese. Yeah, cheese is super, super. People have problems because cheese has a lot of casein. Casein tends to destroy the gut wall lining for those who eat a lot of it. I began eating cheese a few days ago. Cheese seems to exacerbate water retention. Sounds like histamine to me. That's what happens when you're histamine intolerant to certain things like cheese, which is a high histamine food. I've been on keto since March 22nd, and I've lost 64 pounds. Wow, that's a lot. Lately, I've been addicted to banana peppers. What is up with that? I don't know, honey child. What's up, Dell? Haven't seen you in a minute. Like, get the link to later to your story. Get the link, huh? Donald, I'm talking so much I kind of forget what I said before that you're responding on. See, and I'm home for them. Thank you for the 25 too. Again, Donald, and Gary, and Terry, I think. I have. Oh, you have the MTA. You have the 677, which is. You have the MTHFR, which is a gene mutation. You could have the single or double mutation. So it looks like you have the single. Smart to get glutathione drips. I'm going to tell you right now, some people with MTHR, FR, when they do the glutathione, they get sick. So this does not work for everybody. It definitely worked for you, which I'm very happy that it did. Your surprise. Wait, did you get the link later to the story? No, nothing's been out yet. They're collecting stuff from me. They're collecting artifacts. So nothing's out yet. I will announce it when it's out. Why do eggs and avocados make me sick? Because you have an allergy to them. So stop eating them. Especially avocados, probably you have a latex allergy, and eggs might be histamine. But if you get rid of the whites to start off with, or just get rid of the eggs. Did you see the stuff that vegans put out there? It freaked me out so bad. I used to follow the vegan movement, like you don't even know. It was pure entertainment, and then I got bored. And then Slovid happened, and then when Slovid happened, you know what I mean, Rona. I was like, yo, I got other stuff to do. I got to survive. I don't want to be like they are in the country down under. No, I need to get on my shite. I went vegan for a year, destroyed my gums. Yep, because when you don't get enough protein, the body will take it from. They loves to take it from the gums. People have receding gum line when they do veganism. So my god, and now they're healing. Exactly. I'm so angry. They're such a liar. People first. You know what? People lie in carnivore. People lie in keto. They lie in all these dumb diets, and they become dumb when people do them wrong. Right? Well, veganism is just dumb. Sorry. When will you go live next? Oh, I don't know. I will announce it. I need to start announcing my lives. Sorry guys, I will announce them. Just hit the notification bell and click all, and then you'll see me say, oh, I'm gonna go live tomorrow, like or whatever, whenever. I like the stories about the horses and ponies. Thank you, Stanley. I mean, it's just my life is very weird, but you know, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. Now I'm trying to pull this rig, this RV, which I love. I got lucky and found this great little miniature home. And I need to pull that, plus my 3 animals, plus buy my property and get jiggy with it. And I'm going to document the whole thing because I want to do a few more lifestyle things. I want to show people that as you get older, you can be a badass. You do not have to age. You do not have to be old. You can have energy, you know, because I'm 54, you guys. 54. I got energy for days. And I've been on keto for 14 years and counting straight with no cheating. And I want to teach this community that if it's keto or high fat carnivore or ovivore or keto omnivore, that you can do not the 100% carnivore, but with the keto part, with the omnivore, you can do this forever. That's what I'm talking about. Where do you buy your meat? Costco. No. Frankie's meats are great. I mean, that Frank Tofano, I got to give it to him to start his own meat company. You know what I mean? But like he shows too much of his life, bro. That's gonna scar him forever. You know, I got to give him credit for what he did. Like that's some balls to make your own company. But he's been in lawsuits and people have like broken into his thing, and then his videos, it's so sad how people have just come at him so hard. I got a story about Frank Tofano in the very beginning when he was like growing his channel. I saw his live. I went on his live stream, and someone's like, "Oh, you should link up with Stephanie Keto," and he goes, "Oh, she's crazy, and she's old." And I was like, "Bro, you're gonna age, and I'll still be young. You're gonna pass me up all day." But you know, you can't take that stuff personal. Yeah, no, there because I'm in total cattle country. There are local meat markets and farms right here. Let the body make the enzymes. Yep, just eat a diet that has most of the vitamins and minerals that you exactly. Really great. Well said, Dennis Hill. Don't eat too much. Well, just learn your body. You know, learn about food, learn about your body, your existing health. I agree. His meats are fabulous. He's targeted. I just cannot believe that dude made his own business. Like, who else does that? And everybody loves his meat. So, I mean, let's dap the Frank Tofano. He's a smart ass. That's why he's targeted. He's a smart ass, and he's done some weird ass shit. I'm not gonna lie. The whole like porn stuff and the freaking the weightlifting and the exercise, they tore him up when he was trying to do like fitness exercise. But you know, he's young, getting older. He'll learn. You play tennis. That's why you're called Tennis Hill. Did I call you Dennis? You're Tennis. I'm sorry if I called you Dennis. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's because I'm trying to get going. I know. I don't know why I was calling you Tennis. I read tennis and said Dennis because my brain's like, it's not tennis. It's not a tennis ball. It's Dennis. No, it's tennis. It happens. Okay, guys, it is 8 o'clock. Time for me to go. Thank you so much for this live. You guys were freaking awesome. Don't forget to like up the stream. Go to my website, stephanieperson.com, if you guys need help with your nutrition, because I cover every diet now. And I don't just cover diet and weight loss. We're talking thyroid, fibromyalgia, reproductive systems, men with low T, leaky gut, histamine, macas, like everything. And I also have a course. You can sign up for that. It's stephanieperson.com as well. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook is Stephanie the Business Person, as in the body business, which other people name me, and I'm mother sucking out. Because I got some energy at 54, 14 years and counting on keto. Solid. What? Can everybody go like her stream? There's 40 people and only 17 likes. Come on, people. Yeah. I can't see the likes because I'm using StreamYard. But yeah, you guys, I don't check to see who's liking, and I don't think other people do too. But it does help bring people to this channel. So thank you so much. Is it Precious? Thank you. Precious. Prezus? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stephanie, please try to come out with your favorite things for Christmas. It's going to be like horse stuff, and that'll bore people. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate the like. Donald's like, I've liked 53 times here. Aw, thank you, guys. I see 42 on tube. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a night. Tennis Hill. I kept saying Dennis like a dumb idiot. Like a sweet tart. Tard. Good vibes. Exactly. Treasure. Grace. Thank you. All right, guys. And I'm out. Peace. Be good, guys. Turn off your television.